Hello, everybody. My name is Andris Zvejnieks. I am a senior partner at Stratvise, which is a consultancy in Stockholm. I'm very happy to be here at the B2B List meeting and discuss with you how can we get out of the COVID period with new opportunities. What will be the new opportunities when this is over? And I say it's all about our brain, because I'm convinced that if we know and understand how the brain works, then it will be easier to understand our reactions and our colleagues' reactions, our customers' reactions in this tough time. And it will also be easier to find the opportunities that will come later on. I'm a Swedish-born Latvian. I have an experience from senior communications management in large companies in Scandinavia, like IBM Sweden, SAS Sweden, and Systembolaget. 8 years ago, or 9 years now, I decided to become a consultant and focus on leadership and communication. And I do it together with my colleagues at Stratvise. And they are experts in leadership development, organization development, process development, and so on. The last 10 years, I found that there's so much new interesting things coming out of brain research, things that we can apply in our leadership and our communication. So that has become my focus area, brain and leadership. Normally, I arrive to Latvia together with the Starks at least the same time of the year. This year is not like normal years, so I hope I will be able to come to Latvia later on, perhaps in summer. I like to be in Latvia. I have also a cottage in the countryside, which I really long for right now. So it's all about the brain. The brain, this fantastic part of our body that is taking 20% of our energy, even though it's just 2% of our body weight. And it controls so much. You see the words inside this brain. Basically, it controls everything. My disposition for this short talk is that we have to focus first on the threat that we're experiencing. That is like a wet blanket all over us, and it really affects how we function. So the threat, how we cope with it, and then some time for discussion. And after that, we focus on the opportunities. Where should we look for the opportunities after COVID? We must start here with a brief introduction to the brain without making it too complicated. The red part here is the oldest part, the brain stem. This is the part that controls how we handle threats. And we learned from school that if we are frightened, if something frightens us, threatens us, then there are 3 reactions that are typical. We might take the fight, we might take the flight, or we freeze. These are basic reactions that just come automatically. And thanks to them, we can sit here together now. Thanks to them, we have survived as species. After that, our brain has developed with a limbic system, a prefrontal system. The limbic system is about the emotional state, and the prefrontal lobes is about the executive state. So emotions and calculations, considerations, the more developed part of being a human is controlled by the younger parts of the brain. But in this situation, we are very much in the power of the oldest part, the brain stem, where the question is, am I safe? Safety comes first, of course. And here we're talking about the threat reward program, as psychologists call it. This program helps us to avoid everything that is a threat. That may be pain, uneasiness, but it may also be a real threat to our lives. And as I say, this comes automatically. We don't have to think very much. We can't think anything because it comes like that. Is this a real threat? Should I fight it? Should I fly away from it? Or should I pretend I'm dead? This is really important. And we are very much in that state right now. When we're not feeling threat or pain, then we will turn towards the green part. We will look for reward, for pleasure. And if you also are into social media, like I am sometimes, this is an example of Facebook, Instagram, so on. They are programmed to use this part of their threat reward program. These social media are programmed to give us quick rewards and very many rewards. So that is why we look for them. It's nice to be there. But as soon as something appears, it may be a noise, it may be a door that slams, then we will get away from the green zone and into the red. And why is this is important? Well, when we are in a threat mode, threat zone, all our energy, or very much of the energy, goes from the thinking part of the brain to the survival part of the brain. So you might say we are not as smart as we usually are when we are threatened or we are feeling threatened. So right now, when we have this threat that is over us for a long time, we are not as smart human beings as we used to be before the COVID. So if you also feel like this man sometimes, bored, angry, sad, a lot of feelings that, oh, I don't want to have this situation any longer. I want this to take an end. Can't it be as it was like it was before? That's really a natural feeling. And we should, as business people, also consider that our customers are feeling like this, or our employees are feeling like this, and we are definitely also doing that. So this is not really what we were prepared for, is it? This kind of pandemic, nobody had really expected it to be like this, to change the world like this. This is really a threat to basic needs, our health and our economy. So in a sense, our survival is really threatened right now. Most of us are trained to handle short period threats, like a fire or a media storm. They are not long lasting. They can be very intense, but we know that they will come to an end. And there are people who know how to handle them. This is not like that. This is long lasting. It's a low intense, but very, very important threat to us and to our health and economy. And we don't know when it will end. So it's very energy consuming, isn't it? It's not like running one marathon. It's several marathons in a row. And, there's no finish line in sight. That is why we are tired right now. And as human beings, we are programmed to get together, to hug each other, come together in small groups or our closest relatives when we are threatened. That is a comfort. But in this situation, we are not allowed to do that. So the next part of the brain has taken control. We are in a survival mode. We are not so bright as we used to be. And the lack of fuel to the problem-solving part of our brain makes this really a threat also, because we are not so smart. We don't know really how to handle a complex situation like this. You might see or also feel yourself that people get more sensitive, right? We see more of emotional reactions. And we see a general loss of energy. We are increasingly bored and exhausted. So if that is the current state, how can I, as a leader, mitigate their threat, make it less dominant? Here are 6 examples of what we actually can do, we should do. As a communications manager, I'm used to thinking, what can we do with communication, with tools that help us in the communication? Well, more frequent and more regular internal communication is really important in this situation. We should use short and simple messages. The more stressed people are, the shorter messages they can handle. We can also meet people that are more emotional in being emotional ourselves. But as leaders, we need to be emotional in an encouraging way, right? And one way of using communication tools that are really effective in this kind of situation, that is using storytelling techniques. Because when you tell a story, you use more senses. You help people get a picture in their head that is more complete because it involves more senses. As leaders, we should also give hope, even though we might feel distressed. When we meet our employees, and also when we meet customers, of course, we need to appear to be at least hopeful and remind that this will have an end. And if we talk to our teams, to remind them that we've been challenged before and we managed that, we will manage once again. So hope, giving hope is a very important leadership role in this situation. And also as team leaders, we need to be more observant on individual reactions, because some people will cope with the situation easily. Other people are really close to the limit right now. So these are my thoughts. I'd be interested in listening to your thoughts. There will be opportunities. So where are they? Share 3 possible conclusions about opportunities. First is that the joint COVID threat may actually strengthen business relations. If we have helped each other to get along during this road, then we come out stronger. So business relations may be stronger if we have tried to help each other. The second thought is that we are literally in the same boat together. This is also a feeling that we can fix anything together. We can use that as a metaphor also. We are all in the same boat together. So what can we do when this is over? And a third perspective may be that a leadership approach with more empathy may actually build trust. If your teams have experienced that you also have emotions, you stand up tall, you have hope, you encourage, but you also understand that there are different emotional reactions to this. That may build trust. And I think we all can agree that in business, in long-lasting business, trust is a key factor. So with those thoughts, I will open up again for discussion. And thank you for listening. Please contact me. These are my contact details if you'd like to discuss this further. And I'm sure also in the B2B List meetings, there will be opportunities to discuss this and other matters that are important to business leaders. So meet you there also. Thank you.